Cacao is one of the major crops in South India. Now the prices are going up, and it is important for the farmers to know about this crop and grow them in their farmlands. Today we're going to learn about how to prepare seedlings from cacao and also how to graft the cacao as well. Hi, my name is Partha Varanashi, and along with the Roshan Shetty from Discover Agriculture and Varanashi Farms, we're going to talk about cacao today. So cacao is originally from Latin America, and it's called Theobroma cacao, or in our local language we call it cocoa. Theobroma stands for God's food in Greek because of its nutritional qualities. That name is given to cocoa. Now, in terms of nutrition, cocoa has a lot of tryptophan and theobromine. Theobromine and tryptophan are the food for our brain. It keeps our brain really active. And it also has calcium, magnesium, potassium, and other micronutrients, which is required and essential for our human body. Cacao is used extensively in the preparation of chocolate, world's favorite food. And especially in the modern days, the conventional chocolate is seeing a tough competition from artisan chocolates, wherein cacao is used at a much higher percentage compared to the conventional of anywhere between 2 to 5% in conventional chocolates, whereas in artisan chocolates, we get to see 50, 60, 70, 80 or even 90% of cacao used in the chocolates. So in the recent days, there's also been some issues in Ivory Coast and Ghana, which are the highest cacao growing regions in the world. They're going through some climate change and also soil nutrition depletion. And because of this, cacao crop is dropping in their area, which has increased the global price of cacao. And it is only going to go up. And we expect it to stabilize in much higher price as we are seeing today. And so this is a great news for the farmers. I think all farmers who are growing crops at the height below 1,000 meters from sea level should consider cacao as one of their crops. Yes, cacao needs quite a bit of water, but the best part is that it is a fourth layer crop when you're doing a multi-layer farming. For example, in our farm, we have coconut and arecanut at 30 feet, and then nutmeg at around 20 feet, and cacao comes below that at 7 to 10 feet, along with banana. So it's a great multi-crop, and it grows in the shade, and also it provides a lot of mulch for the ground. In cacao, mainly there are three varieties, and they are Criollo, Forastero, and Trinitario. Criollo is considered as like a pure variety, and then the Forastero is considered as a wild variety, which is seen in the forest, like the name suggests. And then Trinitario is the third one, which is a hybrid of Criollo and Forastero. In India, we mostly have Forastero and Trinitario, maybe very few Criollo around, but to differentiate this, the basic rule is that Forastero is more round. The one I'm holding you is the Forastero variety, the wild variety. It is more round and it has very smooth skin. The surface of the skin is quite smooth. So this is the Forastero variety. These carry a very good number of beans inside and considered easy to grow. All right, so this is a Trinitario pod. As you can see, the skin is more ridgy. Over here, the surface is quite rough, and also it's more elongated. So compared to the Forastero, which is a wild one, Forastero is more round and smooth, whereas the Trinitario is more sharp and also has a ridgy surface. So that's how we differentiate between Forastero and Trinitario. Criollo is quite similar to this, but it has a beaky nose at the bottom, which looks like a bird's beak apparently. Varanashi Farms has one of the oldest cacao nurseries in India. Nursery started here in the late 70s. We have produced a lot of cacao plants and distributed among the farmers. We still continue to do so. And when we are grafting for our cacao plants, we make sure that the graft comes from one of the older trees. They should be at least 10 years old. And we also monitor their the pod size, the size of the beans, the quality of the beans, and also the quantity, how much bean it produces per year or how many pods it produces a year. So once we have identified the mother plant, we take the chupons such as this, which acts as apical scions for grafting, and these ones go for the plants which are made from the seeds. We graft these chupons into the seeded plants. So in my hand we have a grafted cacao plant. So the seedling is about 4 to 6 months old before we start grafting it. The stem should be as thick as a pencil, and then we get the apical scion, the chupon, from a selected mother plant, high yielding, good quality cacao mother plant, and then we graft that into the basal plant which comes from a seed. And after a few months it grows new shoots, and this is how it looks, and this is ready for planting. To prepare the seedlings, we need to harvest the pod, which is not too ripe. So this is about the right age. It slightly turns yellowish, and then we know it's good. Make sure that it's not infected or anything, and then we crack it open, and the fresh seeds are later treated with burnt rice husk to remove all the sugary coat from it. The pulp should be removed so that it doesn't enter the fermentation stage. And then we put it into the soil mix. So the soil mix has 1 part soil, 1 part sand, and 1 part Varanashi biocompost in it. And we insert the seed on top, not upright, but as the flat drop down. So once we put the seed inside the soil mix, within 4 months we get to see the sapling come up like that. So now the cacao sapling is almost ready for grafting. Another 2 weeks, and then the stem thickness will increase a little bit, and then that's ready for grafting. So we select the best saplings to graft so that our farmers can have the best grafted cacao plant. So just for example, I've got 3 different types of chupons in here. So this one's probably too old and it's already a stem, so we should not select this. So drop that. This one's probably too young, so not select that. So this one's probably the right size of chupon. This is going up. This is a apical scion, and then it is also having the right number of leaves as well. And this is good for grafting. All right, so the first thing what we do is we remove the leaves. So we use a sharp blade, and then we remove all the leaves. And there we have it. So the scion ready for grafting. So this is probably too long, so I can probably cut it at this. So once the grafting is done, we put a polythene bag to cover it. This is to retain the moisture and also keep the insects away from a delicate point where the two plants have been grafted together. So once they start developing leaves, we remove this, and once we see that the grafting is attached grafted joint has attached successfully, we can remove this. So until then, we keep this polythene bag as a physical barrier and protector for the delicate part of the grafted stem. After about 4 weeks since the day of grafting, we'll start seeing a lot of new leaves coming up on the top shoot, the grafted shoot, like this. And then what we can do is the other leaves, which is the bottom part, we can remove them. So these leaves could be removed and we support these leaves. So this top part has the characteristics of the mother plant, which the chupon is taken from, which is the desired character and the best quality. So once we get the grafted plant or the plant from the seedling, this is how we plant it onto your farm in farmland. The first thing is to dig 1 feet by 1 feet depth and width hole, and on that hole we mix that. We put some half a kilo of organic manure such as the Varanashi agro mix, and then half a kilo of the Varanashi biocompost, which has organic matter and 7 types of biofertilizers, beneficial microorganisms. And then we dip the root of the seedling on a VAM solution or vascular mycorrhiza solution, and then we put it in this hole, and then we fill the mud up around. And also we put a support stick for the plant to grow, and we put the mulch around and cover the base and wait for the plant to grow. Within 4 years, this should grow to about 4 or 5 feet and start bearing fruits already. So the cacao plant, once planted in your farm, will start yielding from the 4th year onwards, and you get to see the flowering happening in the stem. So unlike the other plants, you get to see flowering happening in the stem region of this cacao plant. And to increase the surface area of flowering, we need to prune the plant. So as the plant starts growing, we need to start pruning it between 6 to 8 feet, and we should not let the plant grow more than that. And we want the plant to go sideways rather than vertical, right? Horizontal growth is more essential. And we prune in a way that we increase the stem region, the surface area of the stem, which again bears the fruit. So usually pruning is done in the months of August, September, when the monsoon is heavy, and then we cannot stop the fungal infection. That's when we prune as well, to get the sunlight more in and to keep the fungal pathogens away. So the cacao prices are surging in the market, with the current price is about $10,000 per ton, which is in Indian rupees is almost 1,000 rupees a kilo, or kilo for a fermented and sun-dried bean. As you can see in my hand, this is a processed bean, sun-dried. Before that, it's fermented for 7 days. So this is a great price. It has increased by 3 times over the last few months, and this price is here to stay. So I encourage all the farmers to start up cacao or cocoa cultivation in your multi-layer farm. It's great for the soil, it's great for the environment, and also it's great for human beings and also for the farmers, because it has a great price and a great value that it brings for your farm. Varanashi farms have been growing cacao since the last 65 to 70 years, and we also produce the saplings, grafted seedlings for the farmers, and we've been distributing it for the past 4 decades as well. We are happy to continue our support to the farmers. So if you are planning to put cacao in your farm, you can connect with us and we can help you out.